Heuremann, the accused serial killer, is back in court in New York this morning. We're going to continue to monitor this press conference, but there is a couple things here to follow. New DNA evidence in the case, recently leading to charging him with a fourth murder, and also the revelation that the attorney for two of the victims' families questioned whether Heuermann's wife was in town longer than investigators think, as we mentioned before, saying she may have even been around during the killings. As we listen to Heuermann's attorney speak, I want to bring in NewsNation's Laura Engel. Laura, you've been on this, and I just heard your question about possibly pointing the finger at somebody else in this case. What more can you share about why you're asking that question and what we know?
You know, we heard him talk about that, Mike Brown, the defense attorney, who's still talking right now to the press. And it was something that he said at one of the press conferences at an earlier appearance by Rex Heurermann that all of us here in the press corps have wondered about. He alluded to the fact that there was a suspect that the previous district attorney had identified in Massapequa Park, in this area where Rex Heurermann lived, that they were ready to charge. And all of us want to know what happened with that. And that is to the very point of what the defense is trying to ask. And part of, this discovery is looking for some of the leads and the tips that came in during this investigation, what it included, who else it might have implicated, and who is that person that was identified by the previous administration from the district attorney who might have had some kind of involvement, somebody that they were looking at seriously, it sounds like. And that's something that we're waiting to have disclosed here during these court hearings that we're coming to. But you're right, this was a very important status conference hearing today. It was very brief. I was sitting in the front row. I saw Rex Heurermann come out. One thing that we noticed today, no family members from Rex Heurermann sitting in the courtroom as we've seen in the past. However, there was the sister of a victim's family member, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Kahn. We've seen her here before. And she was the only one I spotted inside of the courtroom today, listening on as Rex Heurermann was listening to the amount of discovery that has been turned over to his defense team that he will now start going over. And remember, when we're talking about discovery being handed over, in the old days, it used to be bank boxes, brought into court. Now it's electronic, and we're talking about a lot of information. 7 terabytes was discussed today inside of the courtroom, 6,000 pages about the investigation into the death of Amber Lynn Costello, one of the Gilgo 4. So we're waiting for most of this, to come out. It comes out in drips and drabs, but we know that they are getting it. And then as we come to these press conferences, we learn what they're learning as this moves forward. The other thing I wanted to mention is I asked the Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney today, after today's court proceeding, he had a press conference upstairs in the courtroom, and I asked him about the grand jury investigation going on into the other victims we know that there are multiple other victims along Gilgo Beach. I said, how's that going? He said that it is going, but he doesn't have any information to share with us at this time. And the next court appearance for Rex Heurermann will be April 17th.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.